Hello!
Hello everybody.
Hi!
Hi guys.
Hajimemashite!
VTubers. They have taken the world by storm, existing and thriving in spaces within the internet and beyond it. The most recognizable group, of course, being Hololive. Hololive is one of the biggest agencies that fosters VTuber talents. Their influence spreading across movie promotions, baseball, we're talking Yomiuri Giants, and Dodger Stadium. With such a dedicated fan base, it's no surprise that Hololive has also taken over the indie game space through an initiative called HoloIndie, a project under the company that collaborates with fans in distributing video games made by devs and creators who make Hololive games. We've talked about 2 HoloIndie games, like Flare Nui Nui and Fubuki Zero In on Hollow-Earth in our Mega Man videos, which you can definitely check out here. And we're happy to say we've got more of them to recommend. Here are HoloIndie games for the fans, by the fans, that you should check out. Starting with a game that's gotten big on Steam with over 5,000 reviews with a very positive rank. Idol Showdown is an arcade 2D fighter where you can pit your Oshi against another of your Oshis. The girls are fighting. The game is apparently powered by rollback netcode, a fighting game feature that makes your action input happen instantly, in contrast to delay-based netcode. Rollback netcode makes for smoother combat, able to calculate inputs, like smoothly canceling out an animation so it doesn't delay a new quick move you want to execute. The thing is, rollback netcode is a costly feature to implement into fighting games in general. Even some bigger fighting games don't have it. So basically, the devs at Besto Games really poured their blood, sweat, and tears into this game to make the online experience for players as smooth as possible, living up to their names as the Besto. The game has easy-to-follow controls for combat, pretty accessible on the get-go for players to enjoy. Idol Showdown takes your fighting game experience into an immersive Hololive world. The Hololivers you can fight as have a creative roster of attacks that are inspired by some memorable moments from the talents. Like how Koyori is just obsessed with mayonnaise. Lots of it. She really loves her mayo. Aside from the main playable characters, an additional Holomem also shows up as help in the form of collabs like Marin and her horny attacks. Aside from cementing memorable moments, the game also creates some very in-theme stages for you to fight in. So there's a lot of eye candy to enjoy while beating the shit out of people. Fast-paced and all-around fun, letting you fight as your Oshi to beloved Holo Worlds and HoloIndie original song, Idol Showdown is a must-try. But damn, I'm kinda craving mayo right now. If you love the thrill of psychological horror, looping you through a phenomenon with nary a clear exit, then look no further than the stark corridors of Hollow 8. From the devs over at Frogblend, somewhere in the city, Hololive HQ acquires a temporary room on the 8th floor. You reach the end of a long workday, but now it's time to go home and lie down in your bed till you... Hold on. Where's the ground floor? The 8th floor again? And again? And again? And again? Haha, spooked you, right? Never mind. Anyway, you are stuck on the 8th floor desperately trying to reach the ground floor. To get out, follow the clues scattered across the office, encounter a few surprises from Hololivers, and solve the puzzles in your way that keep you from going home. If you're familiar with Holo Talent streams, you no doubt know about Exit 8. It's basically that, but with a Hololive twist. The game has about 70 different Hololive members scattered all across the floor. Talents from JP, EN, ID, and Device are somewhere around the right corner. Some may jump out of nowhere for a little surprise, while others are more determined to stay out of plain sight. We're so used to feeding off the vibrant aura from our livers, it's kinda jarring, in a good way, to see them in this kind of dismal horror-esque setting. Definitely different vibes compared to the excitable energy of Idol Showdown, but to be honest, it just comes to show the range the devs for HoloIndie have up their sleeves. Over at Beside Inc., something a little happier if you're looking for something a little lighter is a little something called Hololive Treasure Mountain. Hololive Treasure Mountain is a Suica game, so if you know, you know. Hololive Treasure Mountain is a casual 3D puzzle game where you stack the cute faces of Hololivers like the fruits in Suica. Basically match up the cute, identical faces of livers to create combos and watch the holo talents grow bigger and bigger. Do your best to keep that pyramid building skywards, but be careful because it's game over if any of the treasure/liber chibi heads fall off the island. Find the best strategy for you to make bigger and bigger treasures. A lot of combos ready for you to rack up your scores with. You better aim high and go for those big chain reaction combos to create the biggest treasure that comes with a huge surprise. This is the kind of game you can just relax and brain rot to. Emphasis on the brain rot, because whenever you get a successful chain going on, you'll be bombarded with voice lines from the Chibi Holo members. And aside from the Suica element, you can also do something called treasure exchange, where you can customize which treasure looks like which liver, so you can make the treasure mountain/Hololive pile of your dreams, full of your favorite members. And for you Shirakami Fubuki fans, our favorite Fubu-chan has made her Treasure Mountain debut on the latest DLC that dropped last April. Another popular game we definitely must put the spotlight on is Holo Break. Everyday life in Holo City has been compromised when the CEO of Holo HQ suddenly goes missing. And sadly, things are about to get a little worse. An organization that calls themselves Holo X has emerged. This secret society is planning to take over the world. With no one else available to take on this rising threat, Gen 5's Nepo Labo takes the stand as the company's last hope in facing off against the Holo X and hopefully finding their CEO. This tight-knit band of idols are an excitable bunch and have been through a lot together. So it's really nice to see Nene, Lamy, Botan, and Polka team up to fight evil. It spells nothing but a fun time. Online play is still underway and being developed, but right now, you can play up to 4 local players on your mission. Equip and consume items to boost your defense and offense as you fight off the members of Holo X, who are also Hololive talents. It's pretty fun to see some interwave dynamics between livers in a video game. This game from K-Anime calls to mind all of those good old classic games like Double Dragon, Streets of Rage, or even Captain Commando. Games that take you to that one local arcade across the street and the room filling up with the sounds of 100 or so other machines and the sound of tickets spewing out in the air. Good times. The game is easy to pick up, and if the regular settings aren't enough of a challenge, you can always up the ante with the harder difficulty modes. There have been a handful of Hololivers who have played Holo Break, and it's led to a lot of crazy stuff happening. So if they're having fun, I'm sure you will too. Okay, mentioning this game might be cheating a little bit because it's not a HoloIndie initiative, but we thought we should highlight this game. Rift of the Necrodancer is a rhythm game from Brace Yourself Games and TikTok Games that follows a girl named Cadence as she faces monsters from the Rift with musical combat. If it sounds familiar, yes, it's a sequel to Crypt of the Necrodancer, and recently they released DLC that may interest our fellow Holo fans. In this DLC, Hoshimachi Suisei, Hakus Bells, Iris, Hoshomarin, and Gaogura. Hey, don't cry, please. You're gonna make me cry too. Join Cadence as they bop their way to some familiar song performed by your favorite Hololivers. And as long as you already own the full game of Rift of the Necrodancer, the DLC is free. On a side note, did you know they have a Hatsune Miku DLC out already too? And if you haven't tried the full game yet and want to know more, why not check out our review of Rift of the Necrodancer right here. Now, if you're in the mood for some blood-pumping bullet hell action, we have 2 games you would for sure want to check out. We start off with a game that follows Hololive Ian's resident dad in Myriad Death from Ignition M. Myriad Death follows Mori Calliope, who returns to the underworld from vacation when her mentor Death Sensei encounters danger. The catch is, Callie cannot recall anything about herself aside from the fact that she is death itself. This kinda reminds us of that one lore video Callie put out a few years ago. And oh yeah, we interviewed one of the voice actors for that video if you wanna check that out. The game is a pixel storm of bullet hell action. You can play the game as you'd like, Myriad Death giving you gameplay options to best suit your combat playstyle. A variety of weapons are at your disposal. The various weapons can be found in the many treasure chests Callie can randomly find as she progresses through the dungeon. There's something about the old school pixel graphics that's extra charming in indie games. Myriad Death and a lot of these indies feel like a love letter and a return to those good old days, but bringing in something more personal to the devs in it. So whether you axe your way, slice and dice with a blade, or straight up laser beam enemies in your way, try out Myriad Death. And if you need another Hololive bullet hell to sink your teeth into, we have another one, where you, the fans, are in the spotlight. Oh no, the fans are being mind-controlled! And it's up to our beloved Oshis to save the day. Holocure is not an official HoloIndie game as it was made before the HoloIndie initiative was even implemented. But the game is definitely worth mentioning, given how successful it performed on Steam with over 38,000 plus overwhelmingly positive reviews. Its influence was so widespread, it even reached players beyond the Hololive community spheres. This is actually a game from K-Animate again, a year before they released Holo Break. The gameplay is heavily inspired by Vampire Survivors and Magic Survival. So if you happen to be a fan of that specific breed of bullet hell, then Holocure is your next game. The character roster is freaking huge, and all of them have their own unique flair. You have 1st Gen Ian unlocked by default, and the rest can be unlocked through a gacha. But before you click off, the gacha is free with in-game currency all earnable just from playing. Gambling for free? Hell yeah! Compared to the release day version, a lot of other features were also added over time. A casino, a more polished My Home minigame, gardening, and more. Plus, the best part is, it's free! So a fun bullet hell game with a ton of characters, replayability, features, and non-financially bankrupting gacha? For free? I mean, why not? HoloIndie is a great initiative that encourages small creators to not only express the love they have for their Oshis, but also showcase their skills and talents that can really contribute to making the gaming industry a more vibrant and interesting place. What are some games you'd want to see your Oshis in? Or did we miss any other games that feature some of your all-time faves? Let us know in the comments below. This is Bina, and we'll see you next time.